would you say if I said that I could bring them back?
I guess I'd say I never thought of that.
Well, alright, hold tight, you might wanna stand back, because one small John is coming intact.
St. John forward, spitting out some more words, fully intact, jacked, ready to rap and attack. Small John on your lawn, living like a gnome, hit you with my lyrics like a bullet to your dome.
Tonight when he comes up here, he's either gonna kill or he's gonna suck. But there's no in between for Mr. John Forward.
Oh, well, I didn't know any of that.
Well, that's what I've been trying to say the whole time.
And here we are, you and I on the radio. Well, I'm on the radio. You're listening to the... Yeah, he's over in the other room. He's not allowed to talk for a little while, though. This is St. John Forward Radio, and I am John Forward. I should come clean and admit that I have never actually been sainted, but who knows? I'm still a youngish man. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? I had an interesting weekend. Some of you may already know about some of it. The show formerly known as No Jokes Barred Deluxe, which is called Uptown Comedy Deluxe for now, trying to lure in those confused, lonely, comedy-less yucks people. That was coming up on last Friday. But on Thursday, I got a message on Facebook from the owner asking me to call him, which didn't bode well. That's usually, I don't know, I haven't had a lot of experience with that, but it didn't seem like it was going to be a good thing. A little ominous. So he was giving me a heads up that like Ed O'Leary's were in the upper acoustic room, and down in the main room where the bar is, they were going to have music going on until about 10 p.m. and he wanted to know if that was going to be a problem, and I said it was, because when we were in the upper part of the upper room before we got demoted by the beer pong tables, there was one time where they had just the one guy, like, acoustic. He was still plugged in, but they made an attempt to keep the volume down to a reasonable level, and that was still kind of annoying. So having full-blown rock out with an electric guitar and a harmonica going without also keeping it at a reasonable level, that was definitely going to be a problem. And the keeping it down quiet was not going to be an option. I figured the loud music is going to be a bigger problem for the comedy show than a slightly lower volume would be for the music downstairs. I've never been somewhere with just guitar dude playing in the corner and thought, man, this isn't loud enough. But I've been to bars many times where I'm like, man, this is annoying. I just want to have a conversation with my friends that I'm sitting here with. But anyway, that wasn't going to be an option. So full on rock out, full volume. Last hour of the set is going to be especially rocking. And I said, well, you're telling me that the first hour of my comedy show is going to be ruined. I don't know what you want me to say. And, he asked me if we could start at 10, and I said, well, not with a day's notice. This is the day before the show. If anybody shows up at the regular time, I don't want them to have to sit there for an extra hour before it starts. And, I told him about changing the name and realizing that maybe the No Jokes Barred name was scaring people off, and I wanted to make it more accessible and trick some Yucks fans into coming down. He thought that was a good idea. So anyway, we compromised. Start time was pushed to 9:30. Next month we're going to start at 10, which I'm willing to give it a try. Traditionally, the common wisdom says a comedy show starts at 8. 9's a bit late. 10 is very late. But, pre-drinking and such, that's when people are coming to the bar. Right up into the last minute on Friday, didn't think anybody was going to show up, including the comedians on the show. But 9:30 rolled around. They finished up downstairs. I made a little announcement. A bunch of those people came up, and a bunch of other people came in, and it was a good time. So I, there was a drunk dude at the front, well, a couple of them, and Godso had to deal with them, but it was a good show, and, maybe the 10 o'clock start time won't be so bad. So Saturday rolls around. I'm in the hospital visiting my sick grandmother. She's in her 90s. She's been falling down a lot in her apartment, and she's stubborn and doesn't like to keep on her medical alert thing. Falling down, can't getting up, just getting weird rashes and things. She is in rough shape, and these hospital visits are getting more and more common. I'm not sure how much time old Nanny Forward has left, and so it wasn't a pleasant visit. She enjoyed seeing me. Her words were kind of slurred. I think she was kind of doped up. But then my phone rings, and it's the owner of the R Bar. And how you doing? Oh, not bad. Well, we're canceling the comics. What? Yeah, we're the comedy show. We're done. Last time everybody cleared out at 8 o'clock, and only like 10 people were there for the comedy show. And I'm like, well, it goes up and down. And he's like, well, it's been down for a while. And they can get more people in there if they just run karaoke straight through. And I'm sure somebody else will take you in. Well, shit. So, I've been kind of worried that the O'Leary show is going to get canceled for a little while now, because we've had some slim shows. This last one and the one before were pretty well attended, so hopefully we're safe. But I thought the R Bar was safe. But, in retrospect, he's right. The attendance hasn't been great. I think this is a bit hasty. I was hoping it might pick up again with Yuck Yuck's closed, but who knows. But, I'm disappointed, but I'm not mad. I think a different John Forward, maybe while still smoking the weed, maybe pre-therapy, I would have gone on a rampage and gone and convinced everybody to mess with the R Bar in some way. But, it makes sense. The guy's trying to run a business. If they can get more people for karaoke than comedy, obviously that he's made the right choice for what he needs to do. He's a businessman. And, I've been working very hard to get as many of those regular karaoke people out the door as I could before showtime. And, if they could stay and not ruin the show, I'd be fine with that. But I just know historically those people hate the show and generally aren't willing to shut up about it and let everybody else enjoy it. So I kind of shoo them out. And, when we're packing the house with comedy fans every month, I could get away with that more. But, antagonizing the staff. Can we put on different music? No. And, shooing the customers out the door and, insulting them and humiliating them. If we're clearing the room for the sake of a dozen people for a comedy show, that doesn't hold up. But we're there for 4.5 years. I'm proud of the show, regardless of what may happen. I recently got a No Jokes Barred tattoo on my arm, which even if No Jokes Barred is dead forever, which is not necessarily, I still, it's a chapter in my life that I want to remember. So I'm not feeling regretful about the tattoo. But there wasn't much going on when I started this show, and it was a big contributor to the growth that we've had in the St. John comedy scene since then. And I organized a show to be very comic friendly. Maybe I should have been more audience friendly. Who knows? But I gave stage time to anybody who wanted it. Never had a blacklist. Never gave anybody any grief about the material that they wanted to do. If it was clean, offensive, new stuff, old stuff, off a piece of paper from memory, set up punchline or John Forward or Adam Landry, no jokes were barred. And, I don't know what happens now. Maybe I'll find a new spot for it. But, I think it's not going to be hard to find a better bar, but it's going to be hard to find another spot on a Friday or Saturday night. And getting people out to a show on a weeknight is pretty well impossible in this city. I don't want to have some weeknight ghetto comedy show. But, maybe a new venue will be better. I know a lot of people who don't come to the shows because they don't want to set foot in the R bar. It's pretty sketchy. It made for some fun stories, but not an ideal for a comedy show. Some people gave it a try and probably didn't like having the drunken regulars messing up the show constantly. But, you know, when Yuck Yucks closed down, I kind of thought No Jokes Barred was going to be the cockroach that survived the nuclear holocaust, but I guess not. And I hope it's a lesson to all the comics and the fans in the city about how important it is for people to come out to these shows. And, you know, I know how hard it is to get my friends and family out to these things, so I don't expect anybody else to do any better. But because, you know, my non-comedy friends haven't come out to many of my shows in a while. And, you know, I don't know why. If they just, you know, they came out for a while, and I don't know if it's because I was terrible when I first started and they don't know that I've gotten better, or they just lost interest. I don't know. But we, at least the comics, we're the biggest comedy fans in the city, so we need to get out to as many of the shows as we can. I have always tried to get out to every Sunday Laughter Dark and Chuckles show, unless I've got a good reason not to, whether I'm on them or not. And I'm going to continue to do so, because I don't want those ones to go away too. And, you know, I appreciate the other comics who regularly came out to No Jokes Barred, but, you know, most of the comics in this city, they only set foot in that place if they were on the lineup. And, you know, if we don't want shows to keep dropping, people need to come out and see them. More people out at every show tells the bar owners that they aren't going to lose money having a comedy night. And, you know, more people in the audience also makes for a better show. Better show means the people that did come will have a better time and they'll come back and maybe they'll bring some friends. But if somebody gives it a try and they see a sad show for 3 people, they're probably not going to come back. So anyway, I've got my guest here tonight. We were going to talk about various happier things, but it's been a bit somber. Adam Landry, are you in the vicinity? You just need to give your quick...
You were going to play my song first. You said I was going to get a song to introduce me.
No, you're going to say a quick hello, and then I'm going to say another paragraph, and then I'm going to play my song.
So I could have stayed on the couch is what you're saying.
Yeah, probably. You've served your purpose. You can go back to the couch if you want.
I'm up now.
Well, now you've got to wait for my song. But in this lovely metaphor that I'm about to paint about how maybe this thing with the R bar is the end of an abusive relationship. Like, there was some good times, but lots of bad times, too, that we looked the other way for. We weren't wanted there, and we didn't really want to be there. I started the R Bar at a low point in St. John comedy history, and I was just happy to be at any place that would have us. Didn't think that we deserved any better, and over the years we've grown apart. No sense clinging to the good times, and maybe we can both do better. I keep on.
Pete Rock, this one's for the crew. Yeah. Pete Rock, this one's for the crew. Pete Rock, this one's for the crew. Yeah. Pete Rock, this one. Rock, this one's for the
verbal illustrator. Nobody's skill is greater. I kill a hater, rip him up in a gorilla nature. Still a major threat, suicide facilitator. Nobody iller or greater with the vanilla flavor. Resurrection of rap, the rehabilitator. I spit a verse that'll hit the earth and drill a crater. Miles deep, style seeping to the core. Competition won't be dead, so I'm sleeping on the floor. This is deeper than before. Creature feature with gore. The feature like you invited. The grim reaper, the war. I'm more the vicious. Swear to fuck to God, I'll be warning bitches. You get morning sickness, you leaving with abortion stitches. It'll take a forklift to lift this organ if this organ fitted deeper in the butt than in the porno business. Whether you powder sniffers or got a mouthful of Guinness, you better bow to this like I'm living on Mount Olympus.
Yo, I keep on for the fans of the realness. Throw up your hands in the air if you feel this. I keep on to maintain tradition. The same never change as long as they stay listening. Pete Rock, this one for the crew. Yeah. Pete Rock, this one for the crew. My God. Pete Rock, this one for the crew. Pete Rock, this one for the crew.
Let me be totally honest. You wanna know what made me demonic? I made it through Reaganomics with Delph. Glistening with a pistol to my head, listening to the Delphonics. Giuliani shipped men to the pen. Felt infinite, but I embraced the ballpoint pen to write sentences. You smell me, you understand the scent this is. Peep the purr. Ship
life sentences.
Come on.
Pharaoh and apathy's like a virus. McAfee attacking your faculty back to back, decapitating you gradually. Actually, I'm a rapping fanatic / mathematician with a chronic lung condition. When I breathe, you would never believe he's asthmatic.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm stuck inside the 90s. Still got Pirellis. Rock with Tupac in the Bay. Not a lot you can tell me. Cock the snub nose, put it in your mouth like Acanelli.
Yo, I keep on for the fans of the realness. Throw up your hands in the air if you feel this. I keep on to maintain tradition. The same never change as long as they stay listening. Rock this one for the crew. Pete rock this one for the crew. Pete rock this one for the crew. Pete rock this rock this one
For them bitches backstage pulling boobs from bras. The applause from the fans and the oohs and ahs. For the morons who think I won't bruise their jaws. We got machetes on deck and Freddy Krueger claws. Bombs strapped and attached to your fuselage. We used to ride before this little music job. For the Pharaoh fanatics from Philly to France. Females with fat asses who fill up their pants.
From Philly to France, we're feeling it. They fill up their pants. B-boy stance, chilling it. I'm still in advance. Lyricists, the syllabus syllables I kill with a glance. With the Magilla gorilla glue in the pen when I chant. Militant, Muhammad, the thriller in Manila when I vomit. A jagged little pill, isn't it ironic? You little maggot, I'm ill. The protagonist, the bionic. Pharaoh Monch, the iconic.
Yo, I keep on for the fans of the realness. Throw up your hands in the air if you feel this. I keep on to maintain tradition. The same never change as long as they stay listening. Rock this one for the crew. Pete rock this one for the crew. Pete rock this one for the crew. Pete rock this one. Rock this one for the apathy. Foul Marsh. Peace. And we out.
And we're back, keeping on St. John Forward Radio. That was I Keep On by Apathy, Pharaoh Monk, and Pete Rock. I'm here with St. John's rising improv comedy superstar, Adam Landry.
Thank you.
So coming off a couple of whirlwind performances at Callahan's for 3 people and O'Leary's for a few more.
6 or 7 people at O'Leary's.
There was about double that, but a lot of them left during your performance.
Yeah, well, you know.
What do you think? It was just too raw for them?
Yeah, or not raw enough. It's hard to tell with these things, you know. We were working on a very specific level of rawness, but we have to dial it either up or down. We'll have to. I don't know.
Yeah. Well. Well, after this whole thing,
See, the thing about improv that a lot of people don't know that I've come to learn is with it, you don't know what's going to happen, so it's not anyone's fault.
Okay. Well, is that why you wanted to go full improv unplanned? Because I was thinking that we did the show at Callahan's and I enjoyed what you did there, and I figured since only 3 people saw it that you would trot that out again and maybe build on it and expand it. But you went in a completely different direction.
Well, yeah, because it was like, my show. What I do on the stage reflects what I'm doing in my real life. So that a week ago, I was working on my one-man show.
Right.
I didn't like doing that. So instead now I'm doing an improv show. See?
Okay.
So I couldn't go and do the one-man show when my heart wasn't in it.
Right. So are you planning on doing an improv show at the Fringe Festival this year instead of the one-man show?
Well, see, I don't know, because I was confused about what improv actually was. And now what I'm either going to do is like pretend I'm doing a new kind of improv that's not like other improv because it's planned out.
Well, what's your granddaddy's old style, old-fashioned improv that you're hoping to change? How would you describe that?
Well, see, I just found out about it. See, what I want to do is a very particular, planned out, where I know what's going to happen and the person I'm talking to does, and the audience, they don't know, and then it's, that's what I want to do. So it turns out with improv, I can't remember what exactly it is, but it's not that. So I might not, unless I say, okay, actually...
Well, improv is traditionally, even the performers don't know what's going to happen. So
yeah, but I don't believe that that's real. How does that work? How do you not know at all what's going to happen?
Well,
how do you know what clothes to wear if you didn't plan it out?
That's the skill to it.
If that was the case, all improv people would come up naked and then eventually would have clothes on if they thought they should for the scene. You can't just like.
Well, I don't think the idea is that that the improvisers are literally born into the world at the beginning of the scene. They're coming with,
Yeah, so it's all different degrees of not quite doing improv. So my new version of improv that I want to do would be one where I write down what I'm going to say and I at least write down what the other people are going to say, and they have to say it, and then I can kind of do whatever I remember to do.
Okay, so a more scripted version of improv.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's more like improved.
Improv 2.0. Improved Improv 2.0. That's what we'll call it. I'm going to spearhead that.
Okay.
I
can. I think it could use some work, but for a first crack at a brand new art form, I think it went pretty well. But like I said, several people exited the room during your set.
Yeah, but I blame that mostly on Brian Godso.
Well, how so? Is he just not? He doesn't have the same level of improv skills as you do?
Probably. And as you know, I was waiting outside for him to introduce me. I don't know what he said, but I'll bet he told them that something that was going to happen on stage that they were expecting that I didn't know about, and that's why they left. He probably said, there's probably going to be strippers, maybe something like that. Free booze.
I was
who
kind
knows
of
what he said, what he told them.
Well, I was kind of in a spiral because this was the big relaunch of. It's the 3-year anniversary at O'Leary's relaunching as Uptown Comedy Deluxe, and I see. I came off stage, and you were going to be up next, but I didn't see you anywhere, and I was a little bit worried for the show, and I thought Brian was filling a bit of time, but. He seemed to be running out of steam a little bit, and he started introducing you, and I didn't know where you were. I asked around, and
I was hiding.
Nobody knew what was going on.
The new form of improv that I have, you need a certain amount of alone time to gather your energy, and that's what I was doing. I was outside, gathering my energy, getting ready to go in there and do Improv 2.0, new and improved, to the world. Okay, but Brian probably told them I was doing something different. Like maybe I was going to sing a song and they were expecting that. Who knows what he said? I wasn't in there. I was outside. Okay. And I'm pretty sure that he told them
I was expecting music.
Yeah. So
you told me earlier in the week that there was going to be a lot of music involved.
I didn't tell you that.
I think so.
Well, maybe I did. But the point is...
Oh, maybe we were just in an improv scene and I didn't even know it. It was so smooth.
Yeah, but you're not a good example because you didn't leave. You stayed for the set.
Right.
So why did the people who did leave? I'll bet it was something Brian said. I don't know what, but I've got a feeling.
Yeah, it could be. So how do you prepare for like Improved Improv 2.0? Like I know traditional improv, they kind of play games to warm up and stuff like that. So like they do the freeze game. Where you set up the scene and then somebody says freeze and everybody stops exactly in the position that they're at, but likely they just make a point of doing exaggerated gestures, and that's when people call freeze. But anyway,
and wait a second,
and then they change the scene,
and people go to see that. That sounds unwatchable.
It can be. But no, that's something that they practice like behind, because even
what
like
they should do? Why don't they play hide and go seek on stage? That would be fun, and the people in the audience, they would know where the people are hiding, but the seekers wouldn't know.
Okay, yeah, that's a good. That would be very interesting visually.
This is the type of thing that's going to go in Improv 2.0. A lot of people right now, they like regular improv, but what they don't know is that it's all old, dated ideas. They haven't came up with a new improv in 100 years, probably. It's been the same since Shakespeare.
Well, I know there's an improv show at the BMO Theater this Saturday coming up. Are you involved with that?
No, they're doing the old improv.
It's improv, but like mixed with Brent Mason, so it's on the cutting edge.
But they're too wrapped up in the old ways. Okay, they gotta decide what they're gonna do. You can either go up and just make it up as you go along. Who wants to see that? If you could just make up something good as you went along, people would do that. Nobody does that.
Right, okay. Yeah,
so
fair enough.
Improv 2.0, what it is you make it up beforehand. And then when you get up there, it goes smooth and everybody likes it. They would if the person who announces them doesn't... Who knows what Brian said? But I'm blaming it mostly on him.
Yeah, I think Brian really shit the bed on that. I think.
Yeah.
So what's the Improv 2.0 version of the freeze game?
Well, what we should do? Okay, you want to? Yeah, let's play an Improv 2.0 game.
Oh, I didn't want to play one.
Well, it's too
I just
late
wanted
now.
an explanation.
All right, I'm thinking of a movie.
All right, yes, and
No, don't do any of that. Yes, and what are you, a robot? What you got to do is you got to guess what movie I'm thinking about, and then act out a scene from it, and then I'll guess what movie you're thinking of, and if it's the same movie, we both win.
okay. So I'm supposed to start? Shouldn't it be the other way around since you're the seasoned vet?
You want me? Okay, you think of a movie,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna act out the movie you're thinking of.
So is this a psychic thing? Is are Tabrez and Robin part of your Improv 2.0 collective?
I can't tell you
The
how.
modern mind readers?
I can't tell you how it works. Okay, it just does.
Okay.
So you do what I said to do. Okay, I'll think. Wait, no, you think of
I'm thinking of a movie.
Okay, and then I'm gonna act out a scene from it. You don't tell me what it is,
Okay.
and then
I don't think this is going to go well.
But hold on. The other rule is you have to guess what movie I'm acting out, and if it's the same movie, we both win.
But you have no hint unless you can read my mind. It's just going to be, we might as well just start with you pick a movie and act it out, and I try to guess
Okay,
what it is.
okay. Why don't we do it the other way? How about this?
How would you? It would be very unlikely that you would just happen to pick up on the one that I'm thinking of.
Well, there's a
and
trick
act
to it that
out.
you don't know because
Okay.
you're the one.
I'm thinking of a movie.
Yeah,
if
but
you
that's
want to start.
I think it would be better if I'm the one who thinks of the movie because I'm the one who knows the trick to how this is all supposed to work.
So I'm just supposed to act out the movie that I think that you're thinking of?
Yes.
Okay. What was the bet? Your life?
Yes, and
And then bang bang, punch, kick, chop. All that stuff. I'm doing like the radio drama.
was it
version.
Casino?
No.
Well, you lose then because that was the movie I was thinking of.
Oh,
See how it
okay.
works?
All right. Okay. Yeah, I did that wrong. Okay. Yeah. Well, you're the master. Okay. I think I get the idea, but traditional improv has all kinds of games. Do you have any other ones that we could try?
Well, I was going to do the hide and go seek one. We don't have to do that here because there's only.
Well, this is an audio medium. Like we don't have the webcam or anything.
There's very few places to hide in the studio.
No.
But on a stage, like if you were at Harbor Station, think of all the places you could hide. That would be
there's a lot of possibilities, kind of infinite, really, and
just like the old improv. Infinite
okay.
possibilities.
Okay, I could see that. You kind of improvise where you're going to hide,
Yep.
or is that
And the guy
or is
looking-
that pre-planned? Do you write it down first?
Well, if you're smart, you do.
Okay.
The guy looking though, he has to improv where he's going to look. He doesn't know
Wait,
where
so
to look.
the guy looking. So this is a purely male art form. No girls allowed.
They have their own league.
Okay. Yeah. Well, fair enough.
They're not as good.
Well, it's like lady golfers. They need to be a little bit closer to the tee.
Yeah.
So, the lady improvisers need to be a little bit closer to the script pages. Exactly. Or how's that
Well,
work?
in the hide and go seek, they're allowed to hide in the dark, but then the lookers get to have night vision goggles. So we give them both handicaps. It evens out.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking with the lady hide and seek, they wear like lip gloss and stuff, and that's shinier, and it'd be easier to see them. That's kind of a different advantage that they would have.
Yeah. Oh, you know another game that I have.
Okay.
You know the one that they do where they have to make up a song as they go,
Yep.
and then say, okay, what would be I'm a mailman, and then you have to sing about being a mailman.
Right.
Well, my version of it's a little different. Basically, you tell me what to sing about, and then I sing what's already a really popular song that just happens to be exactly the right song to be about what you said I should sing about. That's how, if you could do that, people would be impressed. If you just started making up your own song, be like, well, yeah, that wasn't that hard. You could say whatever you want in there. But if you could do a song that already existed, like if you said,
Can you sing a song about getting this party started?
let's get this party started in here.
Okay.
Right?
I see how
Remember?
it goes.
Remember that song?
That's a popular song that people enjoy.
Yeah.
How about how about getting it started? That's a bit more general than specifically the party.
It really tightens up the melody. Let's get it started in here. See isn't that, you got to admit, that's more entertaining than if I just came up with a song on the fly. There would no way that would be good.
Yeah, because nobody would recognize it. People like to hear the hits.
Yeah.
So
So you say a thing, and then I get the hit that goes with it, no matter what it is.
All right. Okay, I can see that. So, well, we're about halfway through the show, so I'm gonna play a quick station ID. Do you want to pick a pre-written song for me to play? Like, this is gonna be pre-written and pre-recorded, so it's literally just like I'm gonna improv a mouse click and play it.
Well, that's good because of what we just happened here. There's a bunch of things I want to go back and fix.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't care what you play right now.
All right.
You can improv that one. Get it?
All right. Well, let's play. The movie that I was acting out to start with was For a Few Dollars More. It was a scene with Clint Eastwood, and so let's play some Ennio Morricone. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Macaroni.
I think this song might be from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, not that one. But anyway, we're going to play Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion.
That's the name of the movie that it's from.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, then I don't know that movie. But Ennio Morricone also did this song did the soundtrack for those Clint Eastwood Man with No Name.
Yeah, and I played percussion on this one.
Okay, cool. So we're going to do that after a brief word from disgraced roast battle loser, Brian Godsoe. Brian Godsoe, Star Power.
Whoa, what's that coming through your speakers? It's Brian Godsoe on Local FM 107.3 in St. John and localfm.ca.
a man's job.
Wow, did this dude just tell a sexist joke? That's so awkward. That other guy noticed. He's also uncomfortable. I'm sick of guys trying to show off by putting women down. Bro, honestly, that's not even funny.
You're right, man. My bad. It's time to draw the line. Step up, speak up, and be an ally. Challenge sexism and sexual violence. Visit dtl.whiteribbon.ca. A message brought to you by White Ribbon.
Radio with a message. You're welcome. And we're back on St. John Forward Radio. In case anybody didn't pick up on it during the last segment, Adam Landry here threw a Improved Improv 2.0 curveball at me, where I wanted him to set up the song that he had selected, but we did a little improv scene where we pretended like I was picking the song and I was trying to guess which what it came from, and I failed miserably.
Improved 2.0 fashion, we planned that out. Seeing how good it went?
And well, that shows why I'm not the master of Improv 2.0 that you are, because I didn't guess the right movie. I knew it was Ennio Morricone, and
but you can't be
assumed
the
it was
of a form I invented that I didn't tell you.
Well, it's fair enough. You're a true pioneer, but Improv 2.0 isn't the only skill in your toolbox. I'm mixing up all the metaphors here, but you're a filmmaking whiz. Previously, one half of the creative force behind Hoveland, and now Hard Times used to be called Hard Times in the Maritimes, but that title was taken. So we switched it up, and season 2 just premiered on Friday during our comedy show. That was great timing, by the way. Thanks.
It was so people could have something to watch when they get home. I don't think anybody in the audience was watching it, but that would explain why people left.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they probably heard it was tearing up the internet and they needed to come home and watch it.
They had to be in that top 100 viewers.
But we might have had even more audience, though. If you think anybody stayed home to watch it that would have otherwise come out to O'Leary's?
Yeah, probably thousands.
Well, don't do that.
Okay.
It was supposed to come out November 1st, Adam Landry.
It was supposed to, but that's not my fault. That's Matt's fault.
How is it Matt's fault? Matt who?
Matt Copeland, okay? And he's not here to defend himself, so what is everything that happened, it was Matt's fault. He told me not to bother editing any of it till the last minute, and also that we couldn't film it all till the last minute. Mm-hmm. There's lots of reasons why it didn't get done on time, but they're mostly Matt's fault. And now, when you put it like that, he knew that we were doing that show. He probably did it on purpose. He probably said, I know Adam's doing that show. I'm going to make him put out his own Hard Times episode, and then his show at O'Leary's won't go very well.
Okay. Well, was it Matt's fault? Like I went over to pre-screen the rough edit on Halloween night on Wednesday, and it was supposed to come out the next day. And instead of jumping back into the editing, you and Godso were playing video games. Is that Matt Copeland's fault?
No, that's not what happened. Brian was playing video games, but I wasn't on screen. I was to the right of the screen. I was doing something else.
Just editing constantly?
Yeah.
Not catching the botched voiceover that I did where we tried to correct a joke and did the same mistake again.
Yeah, well, that was your fault. I would blame that mostly on you. That was because I didn't, you're the one who thought mostly about that joke and was always like, we got to fix it. I gave you a chance to fix it, and you did the same joke twice.
It's true. So that's a nice Easter egg for you out there if you want to hear that. We won't spoil it on the radio, but that's just one more reason to tune into season 2, episode 1 of Hard Times in the Maritimes. It's called Dirty, Sexy Canadian Tire Money, and featuring a star-making performance by your favorite radio host and mine, John Forward, as Dick Johnson / clown guy.
Peckerhead the clown.
Yeah, that's in there, but why? We've got a. All right, we got a phone call.
Who could that possibly be? The one time, remember the last time I was here and I said, "Oh, everybody call in," and nobody did it.
Hello. What?
Is this Skip the Dishes?
Oh, jeez.
No, this is not Skip the Dishes. This is Campus Radio.
Hang up. That's Copeland. That's Matt Copeland. Okay, it's his fault.
I'm not Matt Copeland. I'm Murray.
Yep, Murray. Whatever his middle name. Look.
Okay, Murray.
It's his fault. The episode didn't get done on time. Hang up on him.
No, I don't want. Well, we don't get callers very often, and I don't want to pass up the opportunity when the phone line's actually working and all the buttons are set properly. So, is this the Murray from Star of Hard Times?
Fortunately, you have a radio show, Dick?
No, this is John Forward. I was okay. I see. So Hard Time. It's kind of a weird thing where this is sort of it's kind of like an Improv 2.0 thing where it's sort of a documentary about this guy Murray's actual life. But he's.
You are breaking up, Murray. We can't hear you.
I said don't have a.
That wasn't any better. Let's hang up on him.
Hang up on me.
Oh, we could hear that. Were you doing anything different when you said that you could keep doing?
I was rolling.
No, that was a big no.
Well, do you have a landline, Murray, or is this a cell phone?
Get out on the roof. He's out.
I'm going to hang up on you.
Well, yeah.
Well, I'm going to hang up on you
somebody's
first.
Got to do it.
I'm doing it. Hung up. There isn't the audible, satisfying click sound that comes through on the radio when we hang up on somebody.
Well, tell me next time, and I'll make a sound for you, and I can also do that.
I wish. I should hang up, and we should hear a dial tone, but that's not what happens when you hang up the phone.
Yeah, well,
that's what he would hear, the dial tone.
If you tell me when you're going to do it, okay, look, I'll do this.
That's like a T-Rex step in Jurassic Park, not a hang up.
Well, we'll get there. How about this?
Too bassy. We need more of a. How about I just do an actual hang up on? That's what I should have done. I should have hung up the actual receiver.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's kind of a Truman Show situation with this.
And then
with
after
this guy.
a bit, we could go.
That is a terrible impression of the sound.
Yeah, but you knew that it was the sound.
I did. It was. Well, anyway, improv. That's what you get.
Yeah, that one I came up with on the fly, though. I wouldn't do that if I had thought about it.
Yeah, that's old classic improv. We're trying to get away from that. So what's it like trying to? It's kind of a documentary of this guy Murray, and he's a real guy. But there's actors all around him. I was never really sure. Does he not know? Does he just think that he's living his life and there's cameras around and stuff?
Yeah, well, he kind of exists in this Improv 2.0 dimension that I've created. So, see, some people know exactly what to say, and some people just happen to say it. He's one of the people who just happens, he's a real character.
So, does he get all of his stuff in one take?
Yeah.
Or what does he think about, having to redo it again? Or,
well, he's not happy about it, but we tell him not to show those emotions. It's a tricky business, Improve 2.0. But we've gotten there to the point where it's a viable product.
So, well, getting back to the viable product, it's up on YouTube. There's a Hard Times channel, but search for Dirty, Sexy Canadian Tire Money, Hard Times. Or if you haven't seen the first season, the first episode's called Welfare Day, I believe. So what was I think you had an enhanced role in season 2 than you did in season 1. So what for people that are familiar with season 1, what has changed?
I'm in charge now.
Okay. And what does that mean to the viewers? Are we going to have long awkward pauses in between lines?
If I can fit them in, we record them.
Okay. Well, you're not giving me much to work with here.
Well, what do you want me to say? It's the best show. If you would just watch it for once, you would know that. But nobody, just listen to me. Improve 2.0, it's a thing. And if you go and look up Hard Times St. John on YouTube, you'll probably find us. The new episodes about Canadian Tire Money. That's a thing we can all kind of understand.
Right. Well, we're not giving people much of a what's the series about?
I just told you, Canadian Tire Money.
All right, well, fair enough. If you're a fan of Canadian Tire Money, then you'll love Hard Times.
Yeah, if you've got some, you got to watch Hard Times to see what could happen with it.
All right. Well, I think after that whirlwind conversation about Hard Times, I think we need to take another break and reset and figure out what we're going to do for the final segment of the show.
And we should craft a little award for Murray to say worst call-in ever. And we should get that.
I don't think he's the worst call-in. I think that might go to... No, I was going to say Drake Tobias during the Chris Hovey episode, but it was actually...
I'll bet you could hear what Drake said, though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So
maybe too much. I don't know what song I want to play, so I'm going to put it on shuffle, and let's see what we get on St. John Forward Radio. 68. Back on St. John Forward Radio. I didn't realize that there was a working on-air light in there, but I can see the red glow in the hallway. That means that we're on the air.
Dave, well, we're in the money right now thanks to the fund drive.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I assume they'll still take your money. I don't know how much money was raised by this show in particular, but in total, after my copious plugs last week, we raised $3,080.35. Who's donating like non-dollar increments to this thing anyway? Did somebody donate 35 cents?
It's all that I had.
One person gave a quarter and another person a dime.
Yeah, well, I gave the whole 35, okay?
All right. Well, we appreciate it. So they're.
Yeah, well, you don't sound like it.
Well, you're right. But you know,
can I please have one of those fanny packs, please? It's all I had, okay? And you know what Jesus said?
I think he needed to donate at least like $20.
Yeah, but what about what Jesus says, okay? If you have only a little bit, that's fine. We'll give you shit.
I don't, which verse of the Bible is that?
It's in there. It's a big part of it. He had a shirt that said that. He talked about it.
Fanny pack 17:6, I think.
Well, it wasn't.
The book of fanny packs?
It wasn't just about fanny packs. It was an overarching thing about how if you don't have enough money, a little bit's fine, and here you go, take the free gifts that you get. Please.
Well, it's true. Yeah, they could have turned that 35 cents into enough cents to feed all of the listeners. It could have been like the loaves and the fishes.
Yeah, sure. I don't just. Can I please have a fanny pack? How am I going to carry my stuff home?
How did you carry it here?
The stuff that I.
And what stuff?
The stuff that I got while I was here.
What stuff do you need to carry?
It doesn't matter. There's stuff that I got.
Are you stealing from the radio station, Adam?
No.
You're better than this. You're a pioneer of Improved Improv 2.0. You're the director of a very wildly successful web series, Hard Times, and you're also the current reigning roast battle champion in St. John, New Brunswick.
Yeah, I'm also a pretty good shoplifter now, if you would please. Give me one of those fanny packs for the 35 cents.
I don't think just stealing from a place that you're in
agreement
counts as shoplifting. This isn't a store. You're not shopping.
I'm lifting.
Yeah, you need to start dropping. I think we're gonna discuss this off the air.
Don't you understand? Look at that mic you're talking into. That's like a $300 or $400 mic on the black market.
Do I need to hold you upside down by the ankles and shake all of this stolen stuff out of your pockets?
No, but you might want to double check that you have that little card you came in with.
The magnetic strip.
See, I improved my way to that.
Yes, and you did. So, back to roast battle at McGill's.
Oh yeah, I'm the new roast champion, and y'all better recognize if anybody wants to come roast me. Well, good luck.
Well, you beat Travis Boyce, so
and he was the best one.
And he beat me, so technically you beat me. Although you did lose the first round, and you came in on some.
Yeah, but I've watched that back, and you know what I think happened?
What?
In the first round, I was against Troy.
Right.
I beat him.
Troy Haynes.
Yeah, I beat him so bad that everybody was like, "We better just give it to Troy because it's you can't hurt him while he's down." So they gave it to him. So when I fought against James and Travis, I dialed it back a little bit.
Right.
That's how I won.
Do you think maybe that's why Troy canceled, because he knew that he didn't really win?
Yeah, and I told him, I was like, if you go there again and try to roast someone else, well, you got to go through me first. And he wasn't going to do that.
Well, you're a very intimidating figure here on the St. John comedy scene. So
I got one of those sticks now. You know, it looks like a little stick, but when you swing it down, it comes out, and it's actually a couple feet long.
Okay, yeah, I know what you mean.
So you can't even tell whether or not I have that. So you better watch out.
You need to. Well, that's one hand. You need to get one of those blackjack things for your other hand, like the little floppy thing that they knock people out with.
No, the metal stick I have is for knocking people out. The other hand, I need like some kind of net or rope to tie them up with.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So round one, you beat Troy, except for the judges felt bad for him, so they let him win, and then he thought better of it, and then you came back and
also I beat. How did I come back? I did it by beating Troy in can you stop me from stealing things out of your car contest. I took part of his car that he needed for it to turn on.
Yeah, you shoplifted the catalytic converter right out of his car.
Yep. So he couldn't get there for the second show, and that's how I became the de facto winner. See, it's all I improved it.
Right. So is there you in the second round you beat James Hovey, who was your old Hoveland collaborator. Is there some bad blood there that you needed to get off your chest?
Well, I knew I had to win, and we may be good friends, but I don't really care.
Hey man, and he got his wife involved. That was a low blow.
She wanted to be involved. Do you know how long he's been doing stuff like that for? That's not the first story she's told me. She's like, she didn't make it sound this way when it happened, but she wanted to be aired out on stage live.
Yeah, I think most people want to be put on speakerphone at a live comedy show to talk trash about their partners.
Yeah.
And then I think your first two rounds were kind of classic Adam Landry business, but then the knives came out against Travis Boyce.
Yeah, well, I had to play a character like he was doing in order to win.
Yeah, the character of a good roaster, and some shots were fired, and you thanked your only help, Dan McCarthy.
He was the only one who wasn't there, and I thought he'd be cool because he's looking at the screen right now. I knew you were right beside me. I already said it to you.
No, it's okay.
I wasn't at the time thinking that I'm immortalizing my thanks to a person.
I wouldn't even have thought twice about it unless you.
It occurred
you
to me
mentioned
immediately afterward.
I'm the secret weapon.
Yeah.
I don't need the glory. So you're coming up. You're facing off against Dan Terrio this Sunday,
and he is going down.
November 11th, Remembrance Day. People are going to remember this forever.
Yeah.
And
and they'll remember that they remembered it because it's on Remembrance Day. It's a perfect day to have things.
It's true. So going forward, whenever you wear a poppy, it's going to be in remembrance of the roast battle at McGill's finals.
In remembrance of Dan Terrio.
Yeah.
Headache because he's going to be dead afterwards. I'm going to roast him.
He's going to be so bloody, it's going to look like there's poppies growing out of his ego because it's just going to be shot.
See, that's one of the jokes I wouldn't use because it's too hard to understand.
It's true. That's why you're the champion, and I lost after the second round.
It sounded very sophisticated, but I was like, I don't know exactly what he said there, so I don't want to get caught laughing at something I don't want to get.
Fair enough. So this Sunday coming up at November 11th, 8 p.m., Sunday After Dark at McGill's. I would have plugged the R Bar the next weekend, but it's not going to happen because we're canceled forever.
Let's just do the show in the parking lot across the street. It's pretty much the same place.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's do a show in the parking lot behind the R Bar. I've got one of those portable power boxes that I can run the amp out of.
Yeah. And if we do it in the parking lot of Service New Brunswick, they're not open to shut us down.
Fair enough. I think you might be onto something.
$8 at the door.
All right, so I guess we're near the end of the show. So Adam Landry just tearing up the charts of St. John comedy. I think Matt Keenan moved away, so I think you need to step into the spotlight as our shining spokesman, most successful comedian. Are you prepared to fill that role?
Yeah, if there's money in it, I'm a game.
Yeah.
Call me, Telegraph Journal, especially when stuff goes down. I'll tell you what I feel about yucks and stuff, and it'll be funny.
All right. Well, that's the show. Thanks for coming, and we'll be back. I'll be back next week on St. John Forward Radio. Good night, and God bless.